Hello, everybody. Hello. This is Evie. I guess I'm just too childish. Sunshine here today. And what I'm going to talk about is an article that was recently released. Several actually talking about pretty much adult collectors of toys. I have a quote here by C.S. Lewis. When I become a man, I put away childish things, including the fear of childishness and the desire to be very grown up. The secret is out. The normies, or people who I consider to be very plain and boring people, also folks that are outside of collecting of toys, now understand that some adults are buying toys for themselves. In my case, that means dolls. There are several articles now about the rise of the kidult. I hate that word. It's some kind of a fused word between kid and adult. They state a kidult is an individual 12 years and older. The media outlets, thanks to some researchers somewhere in the world, discovered that these adult collectors spend about $9 billion annually on toys in the United States. They seem to be shocked that the toy industry has decided to also cater to us. Most of these articles' tone is rather preachy and full of judgment, yet you can tell they haven't spoken with anyone that's been collecting toys or figurines for at least 5 years. Matt Walsh, a conservative who also has a YouTube channel, spoke about this new trend on his channel. And he actually thought like he made really good points. And I guess he has a valid concern. It was like he dragged people who collect toys. However, there were many adult collectors, even folks that followed him, that politely disagreed and stated their reasons why. However, the lens used by these outsiders is very spotty and scratched. I say this because they have a difficult time trying to understand why adults would want to spend money on toys. Here are the main reasons these normies or boring people say this so-called trend is sad, irresponsible, and disturbing. I put that there are 5 main reasons that these people think that collecting toys is sad, irresponsible, and disturbing. The first reason here is a refusal to let go of a childhood or unhappy about being an adult. Now, that may be the case for some people, but I know that that's not the case for a lot of different doll collectors. And I have fully accepted that I'm adult. I have responsibilities and things like that. So I understand my childhood is gone. I don't see myself as a little girl anymore playing with dolls. Now, the second reason they say that it's irresponsible or disturbing for adults to be playing with toys is the misalignment of priorities and shirking responsibilities. I know that in my budget, that the important things are to be paid first. All money, should be set aside for all the important things: gas, groceries, rent, bills, etc. So I don't really have a problem with that. I have had a few incidents where I budgeted to spend X amount of money, like at a Comic-Con or something. And I remember there was a vendor that had a whole bunch of Monster High dolls that I didn't have. And I went crazy. And then once I looked up, I was like, oh, I done went over my budget and I had a few more things to buy. So I've had little incidences like that, but I was not broke from it. You know what I'm saying? Everything else had been taken care of, but I just went over my budget or something like that. So this is the closest I'm going to get from this particular point of view. The third problem, they said there is an idea of fun that the idea of fun for a toy collector had not evolved since childhood. Their idea of fun is childlike. Now, this also isn't a problem that I feel like I have a problem with. So, my idea of fun has actually evolved. That's the thing. When I was a child, I had an idea of fun: teddy bears, tea parties, making little forts with chairs and sheets and bed sheets, And then when I got older, it was, going to the skating rink or going to a house party or something like that. Step shows and things like that once I was in college and going to the club. And then, it was more things like pool parties and wine tastings and all these other different things that adults enjoy. But then I, evolved again, and I was like, I want to spend more time kind of focusing on things where I'm not with a bunch of people. And so that's the doll collecting. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something different, but I still enjoy all those other things that people consider adult activities of fun. So I don't understand some of these things these people talk about. But anyway, the fourth reason is takes away toys and joy from actual children. I have yet to have seen the last doll on the shelf and I saw a child grabbing for it and then I snatched it away. That's never happened. I don't think a lot of toy collectors do that. A lot of people who collect dolls specifically are people with really big hearts. So I really don't see that happening too much. If there's the last toy on the shelf, no grown up is going to snatch it from the kid. I'm going to let the kid have the toy and then just order mine online or something like that. So I don't see too many toy collectors doing it. I'm sure there's some who would tell you in your face that they will do that, but it's not many of us. And the number 5 reason here is obsessed with nostalgia. So this one could actually be true for me. I like Care Bears and Jim and the holograms and all that kind of stuff. And I know I've bought something that is, with Care Bears or Jim and the holograms or something of that nature, Toy Story, Hello Kitty, anything that, was a shout out from my childhood. I think I've bought some kind of doll related thing to that. So there may be actually a point to that when I'm obsessed with nostalgia or something like that, at least for me. I know that wouldn't be everybody, but that one is probably true for me. Now I'm going to get into some other things where I think people really don't understand about toy collecting or doll collecting. One of those is that collector or adult lines have been around for decades now, and that a lot of people go to conventions to, celebrate their fandom, and it's mostly a congregation of adults. And then also that toy collecting oftentimes leads to adults to find new skills that they may not knew that they had, like staging things or crafting or painting or sewing. For me, I think it would be photography mostly. I get a lot of compliments on some of my pictures for having a good eye for, posing my dolls or however that may be. So I didn't know that, I had that kind of artistry for beauty like that. And then also the building on those skills to build your hobby better or to even branch out and start something new. I know people have published books and things in the doll community and started, different shops with their sewing and crafting and things. So I think that's really nice. And another good thing about doll collecting is that you can meet new people. I met people from all around the world, Africa, Europe, New Zealand, and all these different places. It's very nice to know. And then some people are just a few miles down the road. So that's another good thing about collecting. Now, there will always be individuals who will approach toy collecting in an unhealthy manner, and then there's folks that approach it in a healthy manner. That's in everything. That's in drinking. That's in, I don't know, shopping. Some people is shopping. You never should do too much of anything. You should try to find a balance with everything that you enjoy. So I did found a few arguments to be kind of weird to me. And in these articles that I read about 10 different articles about this kidult phenomenon, they call it, or trend. And that it's one of the arguments was collecting is likely the cause of trauma or mental illness. That may be the case for some people, but it's not for everybody. I don't believe that my collecting was born of trauma or mental illness, but I don't know. Another point that somebody said was you're making up for childhood. The only thing that I've approached to make up for childhood was that I remember when I was a kid, I wanted to have like a whole town of dolls, with different races and ethnicities. But at the time, it wasn't possible. And now there are dolls of all kind of, ethnicities and things. So that may be the truth for me. I don't know. But that would be the only thing that's from childhood that I was trying to make up for. So, and I've already done that. So I don't know. I guess I should be done now with my hobby. Another one is that a lot of people that collect things are latchkey kids. And I don't think that's the case for everybody. Latchkey kids are pretty much children that were kind of left on their own. Their parents were always working, so they had to have a key to get into the house after school and whatnot, and they were probably by themselves, what have you. That wasn't the case for me, but it may be the case for some other folks. I don't know. Another argument or comment that I found was weird was that adults should only buy toys for their children, and that the only play that should be going on is when they play with their children with their toys. So I think that's kind of weird, because if, for instance, if I like Transformers and I don't have children, like, I should buy Transformers, right? I shouldn't just buy Transformers and then when I get children, play with them, because some children can be heavy-handed on things. And if you think of it as a piece of art or whatever, then, that should be out of the way of children. Now, parents do need to play with their children. There's no doubt about that. It does say, another comment said adults should focus on making families and providing experiences. This one is a little bit, you just go your own way with this. Everybody doesn't want to have a big family or a family at all. So I find this one to be strange. For people who do want families, they should the main focus should be their family. And as far as providing experiences, as long as you're interacting and take care of your family, there will always be experiences. Now, good or bad, I don't know, but there should definitely be a focus on making the best experiences possible for your family. Somebody said that they hope that this phenomenon will pass. I can tell you firsthand that this phenomenon is not going to pass. It's been around for several decades, and it's not going to stop. It may die down a little bit because they believe that this toy collecting trend came from the pandemic and social media. So the folks that it was born through that, they probably will, fall back and start doing other things. But for those of us who have been doing it before the pandemic, it's probably not going to go anywhere unless something happens, a major life change or something. It says that these people should be thinking about serious things. That's what a comment said. I think about plenty of serious things, and I think all collectors do, because we're all human. We all know about the war with Ukraine. A lot of people were focused on that and expressed themselves through the doll collecting. I know that, I'm worried about a lot of things and read about articles and always are thinking about serious things going on in the world. So I think that's just anybody who is an adult and, who is living life. So it's serious things always to think about. The next comment that I thought was weird was the ability to pass down meaningful things. Well, I guess instead of passing down dolls to your children, you should be passing down things like china or silverware or some kind of fancy sculpture made by a famous celebrity sculptor or whatever. I don't really know what they mean by that, but my mom passed her dolls down to me and I love them. So I didn't understand what the problem is. The next weird comment I thought was can't focus on holidays such as Christmas and its meaning because you're too busy buying toys. I think that's very strange because I understood what the holiday Christmas season, holiday or Christmas season meant to me. I wasn't out too busy looking for toys to understand the meaning of Christmas. I mean, if anything, you could easily say that anybody that was looking for any kind of gifts were not focused on the holiday season. You know what I'm saying? So this is kind of weird. I'm not too busy buying toys to pay attention to anything in life. So I think that's just straight out weird. And I apologize for the cats in the background. The next comment says, these kidults are selfish and greedy, and they hoard toys. I could call myself selfish, but I don't think I'm greedy at all. Like I said, I'm not going to snatch a toy away from a kid just to have one. I'll just wait until I can actually buy it. So, definitely not greedy, and I'm not one of those people when a doll comes out, I'm buying 20 of the doll. I do think that's a little excessive, but, for the collector lines, I don't think that should be a problem whatsoever because it's not like you're taking toys away from children. So that doesn't bother me. If they have the money to do it, do it. It is what it is. And then another comment, this one I thought was particularly weird. It says that, these people don't partake in charity because I guess they think they're greedy and hoard toys. I am charitable on many fronts. As you guys know, I foster cats and kittens. So, that in itself to me is part of charity. I do donate in a monetary fashion as well. So I think a lot of people who collect dolls, and I've said this before in this video, are people with really big hearts. That's just what I've seemed to notice. So I think that there's a lot of that going on. And I know several people who will buy the same toys that they love and will donate them to toy drives. That's a big thing for toy collectors and things. They want children to have the same joy that they have had from similar toys and will donate those to toy drives. So I don't know what their problem is. Another one is that we like cartoons, Star Wars, and Legos. Now, this one is kind of true for me because I do enjoy cartoons. One of my favorite cartoons in the world are Mummies Alive and Gargoyles. And I still watch Gargoyles every once in a while on Disney Plus. So that part is probably true. I do like Star Wars. I've never been very fond of Legos, but, I don't see what the problem here is. Anyway, they said that they claim numerous adults were shutting in and bored. Thus, that's where the kidults were born. And then another few comments I have here that I wrote down is one writer from the UK thought it was just an American phenomenon. Boy, is he wrong, because there's some folks right in his neck of the woods that, are collectors. And then this same guy, he sounds very grumpy and crusty and just bored. He said that we were trivial and infantile. So, I don't know. He could be right. Whatever. So my final words on this issue is that I just think people have a misconception, and the more they understand why people collect, I think they'll get a better grasp on things. I personally collect dolls because I think they are works of art. There is someone who is using painting skills for drawing the doll's face or whatever other details. There are people who are putting clothes, constructing clothes together. That in itself is an art to me. That's why I studied fashion and things like that. There are people who mold and, create different molds and things to create the doll's arms, legs, and accessories. There are people who are sculptors. So a whole lot of different arts that many people who are outside this, this hobby consider to be great art. Those same mediums go into making a doll. So I'm not really sure why these folks look down on people who collect toys and things, because some of the same artistry goes into making toys and dolls and things. So that's why I love dolls, because I think they're a piece of art, and they're interactive art for me. And then there's art that goes into, just indulging in this hobby. So I think it's very strange that people seem to have a problem with it. Now, I did for a while think that something was wrong with me. So I went to a few therapists to see if this was, regular behavior. And they told me that as long as I was taking care of my responsibilities and not, skipping work just to play with my toys and things, that, it was good if I wasn't hurting anyone. That I wasn't hurting myself, and that, that pretty much was all of their takes on it. And these were separate people. So the fact that, there's nothing wrong with this hobby is what I don't understand about what's wrong with other people and why they don't understand it. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys what I really feel about it. These people who have made these articles seem to be very boring people. If they were a piece of toast, they'd just be a burnt piece of toast with nothing on it that has been set out for like a year and has got moldy and crusty and disgusting and just don't have a lot going on with their lives. That's my initial thought in it, but ultimately I'm sure these are good people and they're just concerned about something that they don't understand. They're concerned about things that they don't understand, and I think it would just do us all a bit of good if we just all minded our business, because as long as they don't see people, doing tug of war with children in the toy aisle, trying to snatch toys away from them and, things of this nature, I really don't think that it's a problem. As long as nobody's trying to lure kids to them by using the toys and things like that, I just don't think that there's a problem. Just make sure that you're taking care of your responsibilities in your life, that you're properly adulting. And when you need a break from adulting, I just think ultimately, I think it's just about balance in life, to find your balance. You go to work, you take care of your family, for those of you who have family, and then maybe when your children are asleep, you have about 30 minutes after you've maybe taken a shower and, gotten ready for bed, and just take 30 minutes to, look at your dolls, maybe organize a doll shelf or something, or redress one of your dolls or something like that, and just be good. You know what I'm saying? Or just admire your collection or something. Update your Instagram, or, work on a diorama or whatever it is that you want to do. So as long as you're taking care of your responsibilities in life and just having a good work-life hobby balance, then I think, that you'll be fine. You know what I'm saying? So you guys, get down in the comments and let me know what you think about this collecting, this kidult phenomenon, and all the articles, whether you've read them or not. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys once again for dipping in the dollmosphere with me today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Dolly Tribe, I hope that life is going well for you. When you're out and about, make sure to always be aware of your surroundings, and just, live life, be happy, stay positive, and, look out on 2023 thinking, this is your year of greatness. This is your year of prosperity, and just keep all the positivity. You know what I'm saying? So, don't forget to keep the sunshine in your life. All right, Dolly Tribe. I'll see you later, and many blessings.